Thanks everybody for joining today. What we're going to talk about is turning conversations into an advantage. We're excited to show off what we've been working on with our AI capabilities, specifically our Ask AI product, and how our partners at Search Kings have applied it to better serve their customers as well. So here is a quick agenda and what we want to cover today. If you have any questions, as Lauren said, throw them in the chat. If we don't get to your questions live, we'll try to follow up with an email. And, thanks again for joining the webinar. I guess I should also mention my name's Jason Smith. I manage the sales engineering team here at CallTrackingMetrics, and I'm joined by Daryl and Lauren, some of our most valued partners from Search Kings. And so today's goal, we're going to look at revolutionizing call analysis with Ask AI. We're going to see a live demo of the Search Kings product in action and how they elevate Google Ads campaigns with AI insights. And we're going to talk a little bit about what's next. What else do we see coming down the pipe in this landscape? So I'll jump right in with a little overview. And what is CallTrackingMetrics? Why do we do what we do? And our mission here, as the slide says, is to empower businesses with tools to turn conversations into an advantage.
Hey, Jason, just one sec. As the chat gets started and you're going to ask your questions, feel free to keep it going. I'll monitor the chat while Jason's going. And Jason, we don't see your slides yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem.
Clicking along here like I'm sharing. How about now? Perfect. Thank you. So the mission, why does CallTrackingMetrics do what we do? More than 10 years ago, we set out with a solution to help marketers eliminate the conversion blind spot in their digital marketing, meaning we wanted to give better attribution to the offline activities like phone calls. Google does a great job of tracking all of the stuff that happens on the website. But at the time, there was a big gap in when someone picked up the phone and dialed the number that they saw on the website after they clicked on that expensive Google ad. Google's kind of blind to this activity that's happening. So our bread and butter and still our core value proposition is the ability to match the visitors that are on the website to those phone calls that happen by dynamically replacing the numbers that show up on the website based on how the visitor came to your page, and then tying that click behavior together with that phone call. Over the years, this cause has evolved with the landscape and the economy and the technology that we have at our disposal. One of the first big innovations was, let's not just take the data and forward the call on to some other phone system, but let's provide the tool where the agent handles these activities. Through that, we introduced our omni-channel communication solution for calls, forms, text, chats, and even faxes. It's all available in a web-based soft phone that agents log into. It runs directly in Chrome and through our mobile app. And we've found a lot of success combining those two things. So now you get all the marketing insight, and you've got it in the same place where your agents live and handle all the activities, combined with all of our integrations that are communicating back to the ad platforms and to the CRMs and any other tool that you want to connect. More recently, the problem that we're solving with this next evolution, I'll call it, of the CTM product, and our mission is helping customers extract valuable insights from activity data and effectively leveraging this information to get the most out of their marketing efforts. This started with simple conversation analytics, recordings, and transcriptions, and live listen capabilities, things like keyword spotting. But all of that has kind of changed and evolved very rapidly over the last couple of years. So the recent advancements and the competing large language models, their ease of accessibility has catapulted our ability to empower the businesses accordance with our mission statement by combining all of the powerful speech analytics with our top tier digital marketing insights. And that's where Ask AI from CTM enters. So Ask AI uses customizable prompts to analyze the call transcripts that we provide to uncover valuable information. Customers use this to collect things like call dispositions, lead quality, what products were talked about, what was the price that the two parties agreed upon, and anything else that's important for a business to understand about their specific activities we can extract using this tool. This allows the CTM users to automate their own actionable insights from conversations so they make even more granular and more data-driven decisions about marketing, the follow-up, which leads to follow-up with which ones are priority, as well as the coaching of the teams. Where do we need to focus on coaching? Which of our team members in call tracking metrics are doing great? Which ones have the coaching opportunities? So on this next slide, this is a sample of what an Ask AI prompt looks like in call tracking metrics. If you're familiar with some of the AI tools out there, this should look pretty familiar to you. You've got user prompt and a system prompt. We offer a few different model options and the fields on the activity where the AI analysis is going to be output to. Where do you want that analysis to land? This can be as simple as provide me a summary based on the call transcript, or something as complicated as what you see on the screen here, where we give some very specific instructions according to our business and the goal of this particular phone call in the customer journey, and a list of dispositions that we want the language model to choose from. And all of this stuff gets built into our workflow automation tool, so they can be run with conditional logic to maximize your impact, make sure it's running at the right times, not running when we don't need it. And this also leads to helping us control your costs. You don't need to run this for every single activity. Maybe there's a criteria because we had a first-time caller and a talk time over a certain duration, for example, then and only then do we want to run this AI analysis of the phone calls. And just as the prompt is integrated into an automated workflow, you can also use those AI generated outputs in other workflow steps. So this allows for automatic updates to CRM records like Salesforce and our HubSpot integration. So you can be sending your AI summaries to the Salesforce task automatically, and any other field that you need to update with this AI analysis, the dispositions and things. And as we're going to see later, this can also customize your Google Ads conversions and how call tracking metrics communicates those conversions to Google Ads. Which calls do we want to send as a conversion? Which, based on the AI output, some conversions may be weighted higher, have a higher value than others, as well as GA4 events and any of our other integrations can kind of be built into these workflows and be very conditional and customized. So automated actions configured based on this AI analysis has been extremely valuable for us. So one of our earliest adopters and power users of this feature was our partner at Search Kings. Search Kings is an award-winning digital marketing agency with a long, proven track record of success. They serve over 6,000 businesses across North America, probably even more from when I drew this stat. They started back in 2009. In May, Call Tracking Metrics and Search Kings announced our first, or the first Call Tracking Metrics certified partnership. And that partnership has really paved the way for future collaboration, set the tone for how we intend to collaborate with more agencies and more technology partners to offer additional services that are mutually beneficial to all of our clients. And so as the slide here says, they've been a huge catalyst for the advancement of not just these Ask AI capabilities, but other features that help support all of our customers, specifically agencies and other customers that fit the same profile. We're excited to have them here to show off their capabilities. We hope they continue to find the partnership as advantageous as we do. And it's been a great collaboration. This next candid shot was taken at a recent home services conference that we sponsored together. So With that, I'm going to turn it over to Daryl and Lauren, and let's take a look at what they're up to. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it very much. Thanks for the quick introduction, Jason. Good afternoon, or depending on where you are in the world, it might be good evening, it might be good morning. My name is Daryl Margot. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Search Kings, and with me today is Mr. Lawrence Sederoff. He's the Vice President of Channel Development here at Search Kings. And like Jason said, we've been working with CTM as partners, I think, for the last 12 years, maybe more. And that partnership has really continued to grow, as you'll see what we've sort of been working on the last about a year and a bit together. Very quickly, if you haven't heard of Search Kings, which I assume a lot of you might not have, we are we're a digital agency, but we're a little bit different, I would say, than most agencies, where we're really a scale agency. So we're designed to onboard hundreds of clients at the same time, so to speak. So we might have like franchise clients, for example, where we need to onboard 50 or 60 or 70 different franchise locations at the same time. And we need a lot of technology, obviously, to be able to do that. And we also specialize really in lead generation, specifically in the home services and professional services, medical professional services industry. So if you think of HVAC or plumbers, legal industry, lawyers, family lawyers, personal injury lawyers, dentistry for the medical side. So very competitive, very expensive. For all of you on the call today that are familiar with Google Ads or Microsoft Ads, these are the campaigns where clicks are, easily 60, 70, 100, $150 plus. So when you're working in that type of sort of high stakes environment, obviously every click counts, and we have to make sure that we can track all of that data perfectly. So if you want to sort of get a sense of what the Search Kings model is, we're happy to spend money on behalf of our clients, of course, and for ourselves, for our own campaigns. We'll spend money online with Google, with Microsoft, but it has to be on our terms. And no matter where we spend the money, the goal is always the same. Can we improve on the return on investment? Can we get more bang for our buck? Can we get a better, cost per lead for our customers? And I would say, I've been running this business for 15 years. In the beginning, and even the last 10 years plus, it's really been about, what's my cost per lead? How many leads can I generate? And that sort of was the sort of mantra for most customers, is get me leads, get me leads, get me leads. And what we've really seen in the last, I would say, two years or so, is it's not really about how many leads we can get, but how many qualified leads can we get. And in order to understand the lead value or the qualification, you have to go much deeper, right, with your insight into what the lead is that we've generated. Specifically in our business, the lead generation is primarily phone calls. Obviously, we have form leads as well and email leads, but when you're standing in 2 feet of water in your basement as a homeowner, you're not going on your phone and emailing the plumber. You're going to pick up the phone and look for one, go to Google and look for one that can help you in an emergency. So the phone calls are the sort of priority measurement that we look for. And, I think the challenge up until recently has always been, how do you sort of optimize for lead gen the same way you might want to optimize for like e-commerce, right? So if you're looking at e-commerce, you can look at ROAS. It's much easier. You know what you bought the widget for, you know what you sold the widget for, and you look to get your ROI to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times what that spend looks like. When you flip the model and you're in a service business, it's harder to quantify. But the truth is, if you want to take advantage of the advanced sort of bid strategies that Google offers today, things like target ROAS or value-based bidding, you're going to need to figure out, how do we take that sort of e-commerce style and how do we apply it to lead gen for that plumber, that lawyer, that dentist. And what I would say is that if you can do it, you have huge gains for your clients, right? For the people who you are supporting as their advertiser. You become more flexible, and you can essentially get better profitability, better CPL numbers for those customers. But at the same time, there's issues that you need to consider, right? Specifically, I would say today, one of the biggest issues that we have to worry about is privacy. If you think about a lawyer as a good example, who's billing their client for services rendered, I don't know how likely the lawyer is that they would like to share their revenue numbers with, a company like Google or a company like Microsoft. I could tell you that as the CEO of Search Kings, the last thing I would ever want to do is let Google sort of gain insight into my P&L. I don't want them to know how much I charge for my services, right? So how do we signal, to the machine that this phone call was a good one, but we don't disclose too much information? If you take it a step further, for those of you who, sort of are running campaigns today, how do you operate in a world where Google takes information away from us, like search terms is a good example, where they've continuously eliminated our ability to gain insight into what the consumer is looking for. If you look at PMAX, you can't use negative keywords at the campaign level. You have to sort of work now in an environment that is very different than the environment was, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. So, this is the question that we have been sort of internally trying to figure out, to be honest. And we knew that there should be a better way, so that we can not only, remain relevant as advertisers, as digital marketers, but actually go from being relevant to being essential, right? Because that's the goal for an agency specifically, is to prove to your client that you're an essential piece of that business. And what we came up with, certainly with the help of the Ask AI product from CTM, is a product called Call Intelligence. And this is a product that Search Kings built that basically gives us unparalleled insight into our lead generation campaigns. The way that I like to describe it sometimes, it's almost like an X-ray machine for your advertising campaigns, allowing you to get the insight and the information from every single conversion as it happens, like in the moment type of data. And it goes much farther than just, really Google advertising or Microsoft advertising. You can layer it into all types of advertising, whether you're doing direct mail advertising for clients, social media advertising, you wanted to monitor, organic traffic from the GBP. So there's a whole sort of new environment that we can play in, and it opens up insights that that you really haven't seen before. I'm going to let Lauren take over and give you some details to what we've learned and what we've seen, but that's really sort of the exciting stuff that we're working on with CTM.
Thanks, Daryl. And so I guess where I want to bridge this is what Daryl was speaking about was how we are using our technology to improve Google Ads performance by feeding Google the revenue opportunity of the leads without giving Google the actual visibility into revenue. Okay. What we're going to look at now is essentially the way we might describe it as a wonderful byproduct of learning about the leads. And let's go back one quick slide for a quick sec, is what we're going to show you here is based on us evaluating over the last year over 1 million calls. Okay. And our technology is able to gain insights from these calls. We're going to share a little bit of it with you, but what we're really going to do is talk to you about how we're evaluating these leads. And you'll notice there, we've learned that a lot of customers are now in the consideration phase. And so feel free to put your industry in the chat. It gives us an understanding of what your industry is or the customers that you support. I see Travis is in the medical spa space, for an example. What we're seeing here is more customers are in the consideration phase than they ever were before, meaning they're evaluating more than one option. They're considering their resources and their finances before pulling the trigger. And this applies to medical, legal, home service repair, coaching, etc. And so let's go on to the next slide. We're going to show you a little bit about how we do this. And so every phone call lead that comes in, we evaluate based on its revenue opportunity for our customer. And this isn't generic, it's actually customized to the industry of our customer. And so if you're in the medical spa space, we're going to be looking for revenue opportunities based on what you serve. If you're a roofing company, it's going to be based on that. And essentially, we evaluate this based on a 5-star rating, 1-star leads. These aren't legitimate leads. These could be solicitors. They're outside of your area. They offer no real opportunity. And what Daryl was talking about earlier, where the entire mantra was, how can I get a cheaper cost per lead? This goes much deeper and allows us to say, we need to actually know the lead quality of the lead much more than we need to know the flat average cost per lead, because we might be okay spending, let's say, for example, $100 on a great lead, and we shouldn't be okay spending $20 on the bad lead. It's not, it offers no revenue, the bad lead. And so a couple notes here, you'll see one is bad. Twos are the missed opportunities. So we're actually identifying when customers are hanging up due to hold time, or a call goes to voicemail and the customer doesn't leave a message. And so we're able to flag those and help our customers identify perhaps they're getting too many calls, or they don't have someone to answer phone calls towards the end of the day. For sake of time, I'll highlight the 4s and the 5s. And so 4-star leads are these customers who are asking for what you serve. They're looking for your help. However, they're not ready to pull the trigger and confirm a booking on that first call. And so now we bucket them into the consideration phase. And this is a really interesting opportunity that's been revealed, so that we now know when customers are in market for your services. However, they might be checking with a spouse, they might be calling a competitor, they're still looking. And so there's a real opportunity here to now capture them, because we have essentially been notified about them. Above that is the 5-star. These are book jobs. These are the ones that feel good. You've confirmed that they called, you booked it for Thursday, it's all done. I want to dive into these calls, but I'll show you another example next of how we can customize for different industries. And so we, for example, personal injury is what we're using here. Not all leads are worth the same revenue opportunity or the same average ticket. And so in this case, the personal injury attorney, their best case scenario are the 5-star leads. And so what we do is we want to highlight that to the customer. How many of the 5-star leads did we generate? How many of the 4 stars? How many 3s, etc. And this helps us, feed Google these values to optimize the campaign to generate more of the leads that we're looking for. And at this byproduct benefit is now we can speak to our client really specifically about the leads that they're getting beyond the $100 lead cost. How many of the leads are these 5 stars? How many are 3s, etc. So this granularity has really changed the conversation we have with our customers, because we're not focused only on cost per lead and utilization of budget, but in fact about driving as many high quality leads as possible. Let's go back up a slide for just a sec. What I think we'll look at now is how we leverage our technology for these customers in the consideration phase and give our clients a chance to go and book these customers, give them a second chance to follow up with these customers. And so we could skip to slide 19. We put together just a couple examples here, and we might just look at one here. This first call is a good example. And so call intelligence is, as soon as the call is recorded, can analyze the call for what was the customer calling about, how did the agent respond, and what was the outcome of the call. And so in this case, we know that the caller is Zach, the date, and what happened on the call. The caller needs service for their old malfunctioning equipment. The agent, Melissa, does her best. She offers Monday, and the caller declines because of urgency. They need someone now as they have an infant at home. So Call Intelligence produces this short summary and identifies good lead, customer not booking. They're in the consideration phase, but we know they're going to call around and look for another opportunity. And so we start to learn from these million calls that there are a lot of customers who need service or support or professional help in the moment, but they're going to call someone else. And so we began to identify with our customers, how could we give our customers another opportunity at this client? And so in this case, we identify this is a high ticket opportunity. This is the big job of the day that calls to come in. For this particular customer, an HVAC replacement opportunity is worth around $18,000 to $20,000. The problem with this one was clearly labeled, and we do this on our end, as an availability objection. And so what Call Intelligence does, on the next slide we'll be able to see, is it immediately fires off an alert. And so what we can do is we can identify the challenge and the reason why the customer did not book, okay? And send in real time an email and an app notification to the decision maker at the business, to our client, to let them know, here's a good lead that didn't book. And we include the summary as to why. We give the opportunity to listen to the call, to call the customer. They can text the customer. And the goal here is to essentially, as Daryl described with the X-ray machine, take that X-ray and highlight this beautiful lead, send it to the decision maker, and give them an opportunity to go call back the customer and attempt to win the job. And so over the last 30 days, we've sent 65,000 alerts out to our customers. On the next slide, what you'll see is that our customers shouldn't be overwhelmed with alerts. We don't want to send an alert for everything, because then we get into the issue of there's a needle in the haystack, and how do we highlight the needle, the best lead? And so we built Call Intelligence to differentiate the types of scores and who should receive notifications. So when we meet with clients, we establish who should be aware of the missed calls. We don't know the revenue opportunity. It could be a solicitor, but it could be someone with a need. They hung up because of the hold time, potentially. And so in this case, the office manager gets assigned alerts for all the missed calls. And on the other end, the owner wants to know whenever there's a high ticket opportunity, that big job for a lawyer or that big opportunity for a roofing client, and they're sent those leads. And so what we're learning is that there's a real opportunity here for our clients to recover what would have been missed revenue, and they can go and call or text the customer to convert on that lead. We then speak with our customers about, is the right person getting the notifications, and are they following up with the customers? Because to go back to the beginning, more customers in the consideration phase, more of a need to know when these customers are in this phase and follow up with them in real time. Our app also, on the next slide, provides a summary at the end of each month that enables coaching on our part with our customers. So we'll take a look at their performance month over month to see, are they improving on these 4 stars by ultimately we want them to reduce the number of 4 stars by increasing the number of 5 stars. And so another byproduct is, because we identify the agent name, we can provide these summaries to the business owner and identify when there's been pricing objections or availability objections, and help them coach their agents to book and overcome objections as often as possible. And so, as Daryl discussed, on the next slide, you'll see this product is agnostic and not just tied to our advertising with Google. A lot of our customers utilize Search Kings for Google pay-per-click or Google local service ads. But we also have a large number of customers who are utilizing Call Intelligence for their Yelp campaigns or their offline campaigns with direct mail or yard signs. And essentially anywhere where we can place a phone number, we can apply Call Intelligence, identify what source the call came from, how valuable the lead was, and ultimately, as you can see here, help our customers figure out if I only have a finite amount of money for marketing this month, maybe it's $5,000, where should I put that money based on the return I'm likely to see? And for us, the measure is, what is the cost for a legitimate great lead from every marketing source? And so Call Intelligence as an X-ray machine helps them answer which marketing source works in one market compared to in another. And I'll give you an example. I was looking at a customer this morning. They have Yelp in 2 different markets. In one market, Yelp is doing great. 70% of the leads are worth paying for. In the other market, only 12% of the leads are worth paying for. And so we can start to learn which communities have an appetite for direct mail or Yelp, etc. That's a quick overview. On the next slide, you could see the customer-facing app. You can learn more about it and how we leverage CTM and our Call Intelligence, essentially to help our customers profit from their marketing. Daryl, anything you think I missed there that we want to add?
Actually, I think you did an excellent job.
Okay.
I think
Any questions from the chat? Let's see.
No, just to add though, the fact that 65,000 alerts go out in the last 30 days, I think that's a really interesting piece to pick up on, because that really, when I talk to clients, if they can increase 1 or 2 percentage rate on their booking rate, right? So the rate of jobs that come through that they actually book and close, 1 to 2% increase on booking rate can equal tens of thousands of dollars in new revenue. And I think that's where you can really move the needle on the performance of a campaign, is by giving them what I guess you call it almost like a second chance.
Another point on that is what we found is, as we've sent out these 65,000 alerts, it's important to decide who is the person who's going to receive the alert and has the decision-making power to call the customer, potentially negotiate or waive a dispatch fee or fit them into the schedule. And by doing that, you can see your percentage of your fours that you actually recovered revenue from. We have customers telling us that they are texting their follow-up opportunities. Others are calling. And by testing these different strategies, the goal is recover money from these 4 stars, help your agents improve how well they're booking calls, and then over time, reduce your 4 stars because you're handling objections better, and increase your 5 stars. So excited to work with you. Feel free to reach out to us. Sales@searchkings.com goes to both Daryl and I. Mention the CTM webinar, and we'll be sure to follow up with you on that.
We do have
back to you, Jason.
We do have one question there from Albert. Just discussing the prompts versus the different industries. I think it's a great question. There are similarities for certain prompts for certain industries. Like if you're looking to fix something or book, a service job at your home, you can have some similarities in the prompts. But as a matter of fact, we have gone and actually built the custom prompts for each of those sort of industries that we focus on. So I would say you can get a percentage, would be sort of generic if you want to call it. But once we have enough clients that are within the same industry, we will go and customize that prompt further. And then if necessary, and I think Lauren might have 1 or 2 clients that are maybe a lot larger advertisers, where we'll go in and start to do very custom work. If somebody's looking for a warranty, for example, or they're looking to cancel, right? If they get that, I'd like to cancel my service, then there's things that we can do for those triggers as well. So I hope that helps answer the question.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. It's really cool stuff. It's always amazing to me to hear you guys talk through your methodology and how you've applied this stuff to your business model. It's super smart. That brings us to the next, like, what does the future hold? What are the next innovations? What are the next opportunities for this in this industry with AI? And I think there's a huge amount of potential here. There's a huge amount for vendors and solutions like Search Kings for things that we have to go and learn to keep up with the industry. But I don't think this innovation that we've seen in the last couple of years is going to stop anytime soon. The use of AI tools is only going to become more prevalent every day. I'm seeing some new solution pop up that promises to solve all kinds of problems using AI. It's fascinated to hear even behind the scenes companies are implementing AI in places where you might not even know it or you wouldn't think that they're doing it. Just talking to some of our upstream phone providers, and they're leveraging AI and the latest voice over IP codecs to help eliminate the noise and static on your calls over the internet. You know, there's a way to assess that and optimize that for a more human friendly experience, which is kind of amazing to me. So some of the things that we're specifically looking towards is we're implementing AI to help with some of the setup tasks behind the scenes. So as we build a call tracking metrics instance, as we build integrations, you could expect a solution where your Google Ads integration, mapping conversions, mapping solutions like call tracking metrics in your Salesforce integration to all the fields based on what you have in Salesforce is just wildly simplified through the use of AI and what we can process with these large language models. Things like handling live calls with real-time voice AI is imminent on the horizon for us. You imagine responding to a forum inquiry or qualifying inbound phone calls or handling all of your after hours calls. You know, the scenario that Daryl and Lauren talked about where maybe you're getting too many calls. Imagine there's an AI assistant that can handle those overflows when the real live salespeople are just too busy to answer the phone. So the voice AI assistant programmed with prompts around your specific business process is something that we'll see much sooner than later. We're looking at solutions and offering to help onboard new agents and drastically cut down on the training time for any product in any business by offering agents in the CTM phone system an AI co-pilot built in to assist them with their live calls, very highly trained and targeted on that specific business and the specific types of activities that those agents are being presented with inside of call tracking metrics. So I think the future is very exciting, and I can't wait to see the next cool feature and how partners like Search Kings apply it out there. So before we turn it over to questions, just some calls to action here, things that you can do to get in touch with either of us. As the guys mentioned, sales@searchkings.com goes to both of them. They'll do a free Google Ads audit, learn how you can improve your booking rate, learn how they can help optimize Google Ads and local service ads using their call intelligence product. And on the call tracking metrics side, on our website, you can sign up and schedule a one-on-one demo today or create an account right there. We do offer the subscription fee waived for the first 30 days. So you would only pay for any numbers and minutes you use to try it out. We also just launched a promotion today where we're offering 1,000 minutes of transcriptions for free with any new sign up. You have the ability to opt into that promotion, and the transcriptions are the prerequisite to use these AI capabilities, use AI to assess these transcriptions. So a very low barrier to entry, low risk way to check this stuff out, get your hands on it, see if it's something that can help your business. So with that, I will open it up and see if anybody out there has any final thoughts, questions, anything they want to share. Nothing. I think we got to everyone. Well, hopefully everyone found this beneficial. It's been a pleasure talking to you today. It's always a pleasure when I get to collaborate with our friends at Search Kings. And thanks a lot, guys. I look forward to the next time we get to do this.
Yeah, Jason,
Thanks,
thank
Jason.
you. Very much appreciated to the CTM team, to the partnership, and to those of you out there. If you need some help, you have some questions, give us a call. We're always available.
Thanks, guys.